Hello everyone and welcome to SOP Academy. In this video, I am going to share a recent TCS technical interview experience of a mechanical branch student. This interview was held on 29th of January and the duration of this interview was approximately 20 to 25 minutes. So we'll be looking at the questions as well as the answers for the questions. So let's start this video. The first question was related to his introduction. After the intro, the interviewer asked him, "Tell me about your final year project." The next question was your favorite subject and why. So in TCS interview, very often they ask this question. So prepare one subject from your branch so that you can mention that subject, and if some questions are asked from that subject, then you can answer. The next question was, which programming languages are you confident in? So always mention only those languages that you have studied and used. Don't just mention many languages just to impress the interviewer, as this may backfire. Now the technical question started and the first question was, what is inheritance? So inheritance is one of the pillars of OOPS. It is just a process in which an object can acquire all the properties as well as behaviors of its parent object automatically. So inheritance is used so that you can reuse, extend or modify the attributes and behaviors which are already defined in other classes. So there are different types of inheritance. The first is single inheritance. The second is multiple inheritance. Third is hierarchical inheritance. Fourth one is multi-level inheritance, and last is hybrid inheritance. So you have to study each of this inheritance in brief so that if interviewer asks you about any one of these, then you can explain to him. The next question is, what are classes and objects? So let us look at what is a class first. So whenever someone asks you what is a class, you have to simply say that a class is just a blueprint for the object. So class is defined in C++ using a keyword called class. So here is the syntax. First we use the keyword class. After that you have to provide a class name. So class name will be defined by you. So I can create a class for, suppose I create a class for cars. So class cars. Then we will provide curly brackets. Inside that we will have various data and member functions. Let us look at what is an object. So while we define the class, only the specifications for the object is defined. In reality, there is no memory or storage which is actually allocated when you define the class. So to actually use the data members and functions defined in the class, we need to create objects. So object is just created so that you can use the data and member functions inside that class. This is the syntax for class. Give a class name. So class name will be that name which you have used to define the class, which we saw in the previous slide, the class name. After that you will give the object variable name. Next question is, what is a switch case? So switch case is just a switch statement which allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values. So these values are called cases, and the variable being switched on is checked for each case. Let's look at the syntax for the switch statement. So first you write the switch keyword, then you will give the expression inside brackets, then you will open curly brackets, and inside there will be different cases. So case 1, case 2, and inside every case there will be statements. So you can see this is case 1, some statements, case 2, some statements. You can have as many cases as you want so that you can check for equality. The next question was, what if we remove main function from our program? So if we remove the main function, then the program will not run. Main is a mandatory to be present if you are building your code into an application. So if you want to just write the code, then it will be okay. But if you want to build an application and you want to run it, then main function is necessary, as the main function serves as an entry point for the application. Next question was, any idea about cloud computing? So let us look at what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is just a service. It is the delivery of different services through the internet. These resources include tools and applications. So you can provide tools and applications through internet as a service to people. So like these services are like data storage, servers, databases, networking and softwares. So rather than keeping files on your hard drive or local storage device, cloud-based storage makes it possible to save them to a remote database. Rather than storing different applications or files on your computer, you can just pay someone so that they can manage all your data. There are some advantages of perks of using cloud computing. These are that it is cost saving. So if you buy a hard drive, or if you are a company and you want to store large amount of data, then it will cost you very high amounts of money to store that much amount of data. So if we use cloud computing, then that is cost saving. It also increases productivity, speed and efficiency, as well as the performance, and the security is also provided by the cloud computing companies. So there are various cloud service providers which provide you cloud computing services. So the first one is Google Cloud, second is Amazon Web Services, third one is Microsoft Azure. There are many others like IBM Cloud also. So these are some of the main cloud service providers. The next question was, what is DBMS? So for before knowing what is DBMS, first let us look at what is a database. So a database is just a collection of interrelated data which is used to retrieve, insert, delete the data efficiently. It is also used to organize the data in the form of a table, schema, views, and reports, etc. So a DBMS, that is a database management system, which is the full form of DBMS, is a software that is used to manage that database. So for example, there are various DBMS softwares like MySQL, Oracle, etc. The next question was, what are the types of database languages? So there are four types of database languages. The first one is data definition language, DDL. Second is data manipulation language, DML. Third is data control language, DCL, and last one is TCL, that is transaction control language. So each language has its features. So data definition language is used to create, drop, truncate, and rename the database. The DML will be used to select, insert, delete, and update in the database. DCL, that is data control language, is used to revoke or grant access in the database. And the last, which is TCL, will be used to roll back as well as commit in the database. The next question was, if you wanted to work in IT, then why you chose mechanical branch? So if you are a student who is from a non-IT background, like you are from mechanical, civil, electrical, electronics, then this question will definitely come in any of your interviews. So be prepared for this. So I have given some ideas which you can answer. First one is, you can say that there is more scope in IT field because of large variety of jobs. You can also say you are more passionate on working on different tools and technologies. And third one is, you gain more flexibility while working in IT. So these are some of the ideas. You will have to frame your own answer. These were some of the points that you can include. The last question was, do you have any questions? So I have already told various times that whenever interviewer asks you whether do you have any questions, always do ask some question. Whether it is a very simple question, just ask it, because this proves the interviewer that you are interactive during the interview, and this may give you some extra points. So this was the interview experience. I hope you liked this interview experience, and I will be creating more interview experiences on TCS. So if you like this video, you can press the like button and subscribe to the SOP Academy channel. So that is all for this video. See you soon in the next video.